So welcome to ISU Short Space Courses session. My name is Geraldine Moser, and I'm the program manager for ISU's short courses and a proud alumni of the Executive Space Course 2008. So in the next 10 minutes, we will talk about who those courses are for, who have attended them, and what they have learned. I will also give you an example of content, present to you who is teaching, and present surprises and things that can happen during an ESC, and conclude with what can happen after an ESC. So be prepared. ISU is organizing a number of short courses, either on request, that are tailored to the needs and specification of a company, or a short course which is part of ISU's program portfolio, named the Executive Space Course. So let's start with the Executive Space Course. I will often use the acronym of this course and refer to it as ESC. Who are the courses for? For two types of people. So those professionals working in the space sector, but who do not have a broad space background. So for example, with some experience in finance, in law, in marketing, human resources, or even a little bit of engineering and science. The aim is to know and understand the space jargon so that the HR officer, for example, can easily understand what the space engineer is talking about. And the engineer to understand the business and management aspect of space, for example. Second type, this course is also for professionals currently working outside the space sector who have an interest in developing a better understanding of the space sector. So it could well be entrepreneurs, government employees, politicians, and this course is open to all professionals, regardless of background, just like any other ISU offering. Here are some notorious alumni who have attended an executive space course. As you can see, there are participants from larger organizations like space agencies and governmental organizations, and from the industry, and are entrepreneurs and founders of startups also. I've chosen to highlight the quote of former US Congresswoman Kendra Horn, who has been chairing the Space Subcommittee for the US Congress, and who took the Executive Space Course in 2005. The year I joined ISU, actually, and summarizes her experience as follows. A great introduction to space in a stimulating international environment, allowing to meet interesting professional people. And the names in bold are people who decided once they had taken an ESC that they wanted to further their educational experience with ISU and take another program. So there is, for example, Rick Sanford, who took the ESC, then went on to the SSP. Adil Jaffrey, who's an entrepreneur, took the ESC, then went on to an MSS and is now also a faculty of ISU. And at the bottom, you can see Satoru Kuruso, who is currently with us in the group. He took the ESC in 2019 and went onto the Interactive Space Program in 2020. So he will join us later in the breakout room. I've also highlighted Anderson Tan in gray at the bottom of the slide. And he took a class of the Singularity University, which you might have also heard of, a university co-founded by one of ISU's founders, Dr. Peter Diamandis. So from this, you gather that an ESC is a way of discovering ISU, a teaser which will give you a good insight into ISU and act as a stepping stone towards another program, a longer program also. You also gather that the networking opportunities during this one-week course are already very interesting. The ESC is a shorter version of an ISU program. It is an interdisciplinary introduction into the space sector, including technology, science, business, law, regulations, and policies in a very international setting. A lot of participants to this course do not have a technical background, nor engineering, nor science. So this course explains core engineering and technical concepts in a simple, understandable manner, allowing participants to develop their knowledge of space-related and terminology. What will people gain at the end of the course? They will gain two main things: an introductory knowledge of different space disciplines, and understanding of the linkages between these, and particular focus on global space business. And professional engagement also with the space community, and develop personal contacts to advance career goals. A typical schedule is 4.5 days long, from Monday to Friday afternoon. You will first discover the space environment, then how to go into space, the applications, the regulations, how to design a space mission, the telecommunications, and very importantly, the business aspect, which we also call New Space now. So during a typical in-person course, we organize networking opportunities outside the classroom, including social activities and professional visits. Who is teaching the course? The ISU faculty consists of around 150 faculty members who come from either the industry or academia, as you can see on this slide. And some teach more often, and some are ISU residence faculty also. You see here different discipline leads who have been teaching the ESC recently. I encourage you to check out their bios on ISU's website. I would like to spotlight Professor Walter Peters at the bottom, the former president of ISU, and also the founder of the Executive Space course. Here come a couple of surprises that may happen when attending an ESC. You might meet an astronaut, in this case, our very own Seung Yi, the first astronaut from South Korea, and the only one so far. So she happens to also be an ISU alum. The Museum of Spaceflight in Seattle, USA, is regularly hosting an executive space course. And other surprises include senior politicians hosting a special event. It can be a dinner, for example, for ESC participants, like here during the ESC in Portugal. As you can see on this world map, the first executive space course took place in Strasbourg at ISU Central Campus around 18 years ago, as mentioned by my colleague Nassim Beauvais. And this following a need from a satellite operator to provide its employees with a broader and interdisciplinary space training. So this need for space capacity building was felt not just in Europe, but also in the US and Australia. So each course including a core curriculum and a specific regional focus. So entrepreneurship and small satellites, for example, for Seattle. And more than 500 people have benefited from this course so far. And the upcoming short courses include a 3-day course focusing on space resources, which ISU is a partner with the Colorado School of Mines and also the Luxembourg Space Agency. The ESC in Strasbourg at ISU Central Campus will hopefully take place in a hybrid format. In a hybrid format whereby participants will be able to come on site ISU, and some participants who unfortunately cannot travel due to the current situation will be able to take part remotely. So this course takes place in April, from the 17th to the 21st. The online executive space course will take place in your area, so the Asia-Pacific region. And the week after, the ESC will take place in Tel Aviv in Israel. Further courses are planned in Turkey, in the USA, in Ireland, and also in the United Arab Emirates. Regardless of whether the course will take place in person or remotely, I would like to reassure you that ISU has gained some tremendous experience in delivering courses online through the MSS and the ISP 20, for example, as mentioned by the SSP director. And you can see here a group shot of a class that we organized for an organization called UMedSat based in Germany. And yeah, all participants share that the course, despite being online, exceeded their expectations. What happens after the ESC is important and fun also. You will keep learning by having access to ISU's library, for example, but we will also access, especially for the people taking the course remotely, to a coach. So you can benefit from a coaching session with one of the experts that you can find on ISU's website. And you will also keep networking through this way, but you will, in addition, have access to a network of alumni, which of, as my colleagues were saying, 5,000 alumni. Some practical information. You will get a certificate at the end of the course, regardless of if the course takes place virtually or in person. The class size is strictly limited in order to maximize the interaction amongst the participants, but also with the lecturers. So the class size is usually between 20 to 25 participants. The registration is done online. It's quick and non-binding. You can find the link on the slide. And ISU has scholarships for the MSS, SSP, SHSSP, and CSP only. You can read on this slide some enthusiastic feedback from participants and alumni that we found on social media. I would like to read one quote out, the one from Jeremy, which summarizes the quote quite nicely. The ESC is the only executive course on Earth for anyone interested in space-related topics. An intense one-week bootcamp to better understand the industry, mature ideas, and get inspired for the decades to come. I hereby share my contact details and look forward to seeing those interested in the ESC in the breakout room. And also give the floor to President Rohan de Dalmo if he wishes to add anything to this presentation. Otherwise, I guess we'll see all of you, those interested, with President de Dalmo and Satoru and myself in the ESC breakout room.
Yes, thank you very much, Geraldine. I will be in the breakout room, and I encourage those of you who are interested to come to the next one, which, as Geraldine said, will be in Strasbourg. And as you can see on the background picture, we hope to show you some liftoffs or landings on the Strasbourg Cathedral while you are there. So this is part of the surprises that can happen here. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you.